In another episode of Just Go Talk to Your Husband instead of airing out your dirty laundry on TikTok, a woman who lost her job has decided to take her frustrations to social media and throwing her husband under the bus for keeping his family afloat and essentially feeding him to the rabid man-haters to chew him up and belittle him in her comment section. And that's exactly what they did. Around 2,000 comments, all basically tearing into her husband.
Here's what I feel changed in my marriage. I'm going to tell you this while I package cookies. I lost my job a year ago, 2024. So with losing my job, my husband took on my half of the mortgage. Now, with that being said, not only did he take on half of the mortgage, but that's basically it. He pays for everything house related, home. So I started doing content. I was collecting unemployment for a bit, and I was still paying the mortgage. Partial, but paying what I could. So, with that being said, I, as you can see, am doing cookies. I have always enjoyed doing cookies to a capacity. Now, I felt like I really needed to generate an income, so I opened up the cookie business, which is really fun and really great. But it's taking such a toll on myself, my time with my daughter, my time with my husband, just so much time in general that it takes me away from. Now, I feel like I know I'm not generating the income that I should be generating, or the income that I was generating when I had a full-time job, right? So, and that's okay. I have managed to live within my means.
All right, just so we're clear, she lost her job a year ago, and since then, her husband has been paying for everything, basically. And while he's keeping the house running, she's decided to start a cookie business, and it's not making any real money, but it is eating up all of her time, taking time away from her husband, time away from her kid, and time away from being a wife and a mom. So basically, the guy's covering the bills while she's trying to be a boss babe and chasing a side hustle. Surely, though, the only response to that would be immense gratitude, right? Because after all, he's the only reason she's able to do this. All right, let's keep watching.
To accommodate my bills, like my car, my insurance, my phone bill, the life insurance I pay for my husband, myself, and my daughter, my bills. And that's what I take care of. So it's very hard because I feel like now that he has to do those things or pay my half of the mortgage, he's more upset, and I think he's a little bit more resentful because of how much time I spend doing cookies and I am home, whereas I'm not home having a full-time job and working 40 hours or more. But I think that is part of the reason why he feels the way that he feels, and I think that he acts the way that he acts towards me, is that it's just not enough, right? So, doing this is great. I love it, but I don't love the time that it takes away from my family time and just having a life. Even when it comes to doing anything self-care for myself, just to get my nails done, it's like a task, so it's hard. And I know it's hard, and I don't know if this is for everybody or this is happening to anybody else, but it is something I struggle with right now. And I just like to think that it's hard because I have a toddler. Things are going to get better in time and over time, and if I can focus on my business, then I'll get bigger and expand, right? And I'll make more money and it'll be great. But I don't know, because I don't know if I would treat anybody in a really shitty way in the process. So I don't know.
So throughout this entire video, she says nothing but I think and I feel. And honestly, if that's the case, why not just go talk to your husband? See where he's actually at, right? Get his opinion on the situation. Instead of going on TikTok and creating this narrative about having a resentful husband just because you want to go be an entrepreneur. And so she's got a toddler. He's working full time. And somehow he in any way is a bad guy. It's like, what a terrible man. So instead of appreciating him, it seems like she's the one who's grown resentful. And now she's kind of built this narrative online. So when her husband goes to check in and see how her business is doing, what's he going to find? Thousands of comments from strangers tearing him apart, all because he's being a good provider for his family. And meanwhile, right, instead of taking on more of a motherly or a homemaker role, while he's, keeping things afloat, she's on TikTok, putting him on blast and trying to sell cookies. And look, her account that I got this video from, has, I think, 250,000 views, something like that. But her account itself has 1,000 followers, and all her other videos are getting barely any views. And so, she has a long way to go. It will probably be years before she sees any real results, if ever. Now, if her feelings are genuine and he is resentful, I'm going to bet it's because he's supporting his wife while she's being a boss babe instead of a wife and a mother. And also, while she's doing that, she's using her platform, her entrepreneurial platform where she sells cookies, to belittle him and throw him under the bus. And the comments, guys, are wild. I saw a bunch of women saying things like, wow, the fact that he was ever splitting bills is ridiculous. And she's hearting these comments or other comments saying he's just doing what a man should do. One woman even said, instead of him being resentful, he should be finding ways to make more money for you and your daughter so you can keep doing what you're doing. And there are thousands of comments like that. It's ridiculous. A man's job is not to fund his wife's passion project, a cookie business that isn't profitable. But if he does choose to do that, the only appropriate response, again, would be immense gratitude as well as understanding, because he's giving her the freedom to even try. If she would ask her parents even to bankroll this dream, they would probably laugh. But when it's her husband, suddenly he owes it to her. Now, again, it's a different story if she's making his life easier, cooking for him, taking care of the child, supporting him, respecting his role in the home. And yeah, if you want a man to provide 100%, he's going to expect those things in return, and he's owed them, and he deserves them. The problem is, too many women today think, well, I'm a woman, so just give me things. Do things for me. I deserve it. As if simply existing with a vagina is enough reason to be taken care of. And the crazy part is, she doesn't even seem to realize kind of how disrespectful it is. She's talking about him as if he's some distant roommate instead of the man holding the house together. He's paying for her stability while she's out here publicly wondering if he's the problem. Oh my God, my husband is being resentful. What's going on here? What do you guys think? What do you ladies think? Does my husband suck? Should my husband man up and not be resentful? Should he be a real man? Again, you should be doing nothing and saying nothing but good things about him. Even if in your mind you think he is being resentful, you absolutely do not go online and do what you just did. I just think it's a very entitled and spoiled mindset. Does she not understand that he is allowing her to do what so many adults in America do not get to do? Pursue a business while not having to worry about your mortgage, where you live, your rent. Most people who want to do what she's doing, they have to work a full-time job and then come home and continue working on their side business afterwards. She has the privilege and the opportunity to do what so many can't. And yet she still finds ways to to poke holes in her husband? And then you'll notice she takes her situation and she's turning it into a broad commentary on men. It's right in front of our faces, her caption there. Why are men resentful? As if resentment, is somehow a male-only emotion. All humans are, of course, capable of resentment. That's not something exclusive to men. But then, you take one look at her and you realize what this really is. She's a feminist, and she has man hatred at her core. It's very obvious. Nose ring theory checks out. So even while she's trying to build a business about cookies, she somehow can't help but make it about shitting on men as a whole.